you know, um, and scarred and broken up. I mean, there are some situations that family members can't even come back from, and yeah, do it take them down? Sure it does. I know many people that's been through many things and it's broken their family up to the point that you'll hear people saying, it's sad that I have to be closer to my uh, friends and coworkers or other people's families opposed to their own because there's so many broken families.
Right. Am I too loud?
No, you're
Oh,
perfect. I can hear you just fine. And like, just to touch on that, it's hard to have this topic without being transparent. And one thing about me, and those that don't know me is I don't mind being transparent about my situations and my life stories, and they're authentic and 100. Have my family, brought me down? Yeah, yeah, that's when I had given them that control. I had to me that's a growing phase, right? So I had to grow to get there at one point. Um, Bringing me down in many ways. It don't necessarily got to be in your emotions and your feelings. Like I said, it could be a situation.
yeah.
Growing up through my past, I was always the backbone for a lot of things in my family. Everybody depended on me. When it came time for where people had to live, I was that one. When it came time for helping, I was that one. And, by me being kind hearted, is the way I like to look at it, I had to suffer the consequences behind that. It's a lot of things that I went through growing up through my life. And like I said, it's a growing phase. So I had to get to the point where I had to say, you know what? Do you keep allowing them to do that to you? Do you keep allowing that to happen? And I love my family to death. I am all for family, like, and I give chance after chance after chance after chance. But at what point do you put up a standard, and say, I'm done with that. I
Exactly.
can't give that no more.
Because nobody has control over your life but you.
There you go. And it's easier said than done. I can 100% agree with that because right or wrong or indifferent, that's my family, and I love them. Will I turn my back on them? No. I just had to decide how I wanted to be there for them, you know? And unfortunately, I had to learn that word no. Everybody don't like it. They
No.
don't like it, Then you get called, oh, you think you bougie. Oh, you think you too good,
Yeah.
oh, oh, this or oh, that. But, oh, was you there when I got took down? Was you there when I lost it all because I said yes to you? We don't want to talk about that, again, and I don't care. Like I said, I don't care, you know what I mean, about putting it out there. These are real life situations and real life stories, and people are hurting because of these topics. People are like, oh, you don't understand. Oh, sweetheart. Oh, I understand.
Because
I
that's
just don't look like what I went through,
how I felt.
you know.
Both.
We got another guest.
Yeah, she just joined.
Welcome. So yeah, those are real life topic and real life situations. A lot of us don't look like what we've been through, and I've been through a lot of things. Um, and a lot of the stuff of what we go through with our family and friends don't just start when you be adults. That stuff, start from way back when.
I think mine started as an adult.
You said your situation was
Mine
as an
mine
adult.
started as an adult.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then mine started from when I was young. Once again, like I said, I had to be the strong one in the family. I had to be the one to carry the family, even as a young girl. Mine started in my teenage years. I had to look out for my siblings and different things like that. And it cost me. It cost me a lot. And I had to repair and rebuild and repair and rebuild. And at some point, I just had to, like I said, learn that word no. Miss Darcel, you're on mute. If you want to join the live, you have to unmute yourself.
Yeah, I know. I was listening so far.
Uh,
How y'all doing?
How are
Happy
you?
New Year, everybody.
turn
You
your
too?
whatever you on, turn it down just a little bit so it doesn't drown us out.
Okay, is it down?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just have another joiner, Leo Stinky Balls. Welcome.
Welcome. And so the topic tonight is, can family and friends bring you down?
So, Kika, what are your thoughts on that?
I truly believe yes. And I definitely believe family can bring you down more than friends can because it's easier to cut a friend off. Or I believe yes.
I don't know if it depends on the length of your friendship. Now, if you really good friends and you really tight, it's not so easy to just cut a friend off.
Well, you got to realize at some point you do grow out of each other. There is some point where you become, where you guys have different views. Marriage, children can get involved. There's different things that comes into comparison to that too.
Oh yeah.
So with a family, it's hard to just be like your different views is cut off, and I can't. You have to deal with that because it's family. But with friends, you can easily gradually walk away, or you just grow out. You can grow, and that's with marriage, relationships, or anything.
Miss Yukika, you know what? I love your view on that. But I'm kind of with Yolanda on that. I beg a difference. I can cut family off too. My cutoff game is
I mean,
strong.
the only family that I would say that would have a hard time cutting off is my kids. I mean, cousins and stuff like that. I mean, I love them, but it's not hard at all for me.
It took me a long time to cut an immediate like mom, like
We're
a
not gonna
parent.
mention any names.
It
No
takes you
names.
a long time to cut. I'm not going to mention names. I'm just
Okay.
mention statuses. It'll take a long time to cut a guardian, whether that's grandparents, mothers, but it took me years to do that. And it wasn't easy, but I had to realize that was my downfall.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. I mean, I totally understand in that. And prior to you joining, that's what I was telling Miss Londa. Like, it's a growing period. Um, some people are stronger than others. Some people already have that skill where they don't let anyone, and I call it your bubble, right? They don't let anyone in their bubble to interrupt their peace. But everybody can't do that. Some people suffer a lot
That
more before they get
that's
there.
true, Miss Shum. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. I apologize about that.
You're fine, sweetie.
So what
Oh,
was you
go
saying?
ahead. Go ahead,
That's
honey.
true, but because of something like that, that's true because of something like that. As far as being immediate or in a guardian, it has a toll on future relationships. As far as relationships, as far as it's a cycle. And if I'm the type of person, I'm not going to cut it off forever, but I want to break a cycle to where I can understand what is good, what is bad, and how to handle what is good and bad.
Would you say would you say that comes with a level of growth and healing before you can just know that?
Correct.
I agree.
Correct.
I totally agree. So what happens when one opens up and they accept that again? Because if you're a lot like me, my heart's big. I might say no today
I
and
think,
tomorrow love you to death
I
and,
think
and
at
change
that
my mind.
point, I would have an understanding of the next person instead of being argumentative. I would have an understanding of what that person could be going through and try to hear them out and understand why things would be the way there is and why they could be toxic or why it can may be in such a way dysfunctional because I've in somewhat not saying completely corrected it, but enough to know where I would go wrong into feeding into it, into not seeing that it's not healthy for me or that next person.
Do you believe hurt people hurt people?
I
I
do.
do believe that.
I do too. I've witnessed it, so I could be the
And that's
first.
why I say it's best to cut that part off
Mhm.
to in order to better your cycle, in order to make future generations know what's toxic, what's dysfunctional, because I learned, you know.
Mhm.
Hello?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Oh,
Oh
okay.
yeah. Nope, I'm here. Londa, you got anything to piggyback off of her?
yeah. I mean, yeah, you do have to learn to cut people off. But I wanted to ask you when you were saying like you will still deal with that person, but you would want to know like what were you saying what their reason is for the way they do are or Kika?
Yeah, to understand, you know, I got to understand myself first to be able to understand the next person, you know, and I know that the next person have went through things or, you know, and it's probably not easy or for them to handle things the way I probably would. And for me to learn myself and to know that within me, I was able to either understand it or know how to deal with it.
So you basically would you be kind of like I don't want to say babysitting in a way, but would you just basically be just accepting it?
Not accepting it because I wouldn't just accept it, but I would be able to, if can, I guess, try to correct, or maybe on my part, I could be wrong somewhere and work on where I'm wrong at. And if it's not corrected, you know, then it's obviously something else. But I'm willing to work on me and my faults first. You know what I mean? In order to learn how to work on someone else's and theirs too. I wouldn't like completely cut anyone off, but sometimes it works as if you understand yourself and fix yourself first. Because shoot, I got a lot of anger and resentment myself, but you have to I feel you have to be able to learn to forgive and you know understand why yourself and why you're so angry. I don't know. I just think the other way wasn't working. So I feel like being my age, you know what I mean, having grandkids and a child that's an adult, I feel I'm too
You going in and out.
I'm correcting whether they've corrected themselves or a problem. I would be able to understand. Yes, ma'am.
You know, toxic relationships or people bringing you down is not only just friends and family, and I should have stated that because it could also be a mate as well.
Mhm. Absolutely. I 100% agree with that, and bringing you down, it don't necessarily, I mean, bring you down can go in many ways. That can be mentally, it can be emotionally, it can be in your real life daily situations, it can be things that you lost, you know.
Yeah.
But then question I have is how okay, so for yourself, how do you heal from that?
Oh, I think you just have to step back and take that